It's just too hot outside. Also, traditional Italians hide during early afternoon in a semi-dark house. Imagine now living in a place where water comes only once a week. In parts of the world, this is daily reality. Water scarcity is becoming more urgent, and it's something that's affecting even the most developed countries. We are now living only 100 kilometers from such a region where we went on holiday last week. And that's in Italy. Are you sure that you will not be in such a region in 10 years from now? That your region will come in such a situation? But what if I told you if there's a way to use something simple like an air conditioner or even a dehumidifier to have at least the small amount of water that you really need without adding extra costs to your bills? Hi Norbert here, I'm energy engineer and explain in video number 107 the relationship between water and energy. Many scientists are telling that the water crisis is more imminent than the energy crisis. And indeed, without modern energy sources, you can survive, as we do already thousands of years. Without water, life becomes really difficult. The two are even directly related because you need energy to purify and transport water. So without energy, in many cases, there's no water for the most of us. We've just returned from Agrigento in Sicily, not only famous for its ancient temples, but also for something much more urgent: drought and water for the citizens. Just last year, people in the area were only getting water once a week or even 2 weeks. At 40 degrees Celsius, that's not just an inconvenience, it's survival. See these headlines about the situation. They are all from The Guardian, but I can confirm that many other sources are telling just about the same thing. During our stay near the Temple Valley, we were cautious about water, for example with a shower. Warm weather invites to more frequent showers, and in a B&B we found this type of shower with different jet sections. Here you see also the solar water heaters. Mount Etna, where our zero-energy home is, has more water resources, but we face daily water outages during the summer. The difference with our holiday destination in south of Sicily, the cutoff is only during the night, and every house has a tank of at least 300 liters and an electric pump to keep the water flowing. But during a blackout in July 2023, here in the region that was caused by a heat wave, some municipalities in the big metropole of Catania were even 3 days without current. The electric pump for these water reserves stopped, and that made the blackout unbearable for many citizens that had to move out to live with parents in other cities. Let me tell you, this is not just a local problem here. Similar situations that are even worsening during the coming years are not only in developing countries like South Africa, India, Pakistan, Egypt, but also in developed countries like United States, California, Australia, and Spain. But there's more to this. Energy and water are deeply connected. Every cubic meter of water must be first processed and then transported. And in areas with normal circumstances, the energy required to do all this can range from 0.4 kilowatt hours per cubic meter to 2 kilowatt hours. But if you count the loss of water in southern Italy in the distribution network, this can become as much as 6 kilowatt hour per cubic meter. That is a drain on resources. There's maybe more energy than water in that cubic meter. Here you see a few images of wind and solar power during our short holiday. Who knows, this petrol station will use these wind turbines in the future that you see here in the background to charge the EVs. A family from Sicily that owns land near Marsala to grow grapes for wine is preparing its terrain for rent to a renewable energy company, and they will place their multi-megawatt turbines and PV fields. That will not stop them from continuing producing grapes for wine. They were guests in our zero energy holiday home 2 weeks ago. Think about this. While we as a community on this channel are pushing for more efficient energy use, we are also wasting energy by wasting water, as we saw before. And in some areas, up to a third of the water gets lost in the distribution network. That means more energy is wasted and more pressure is put on our already stressed resources. Let's see how the previous generations handled this problem. Sicily was already warm in the time of the Romans. Did you know that even before, the ancient Greeks already had a brilliant way of managing water? Also here, in Agrigento, they developed sophisticated systems for collecting and storing rainwater, ensuring they had access to water even during dry periods. This shows us that we can take inspiration from the past to tackle the problems we face today. Speaking of solutions, I've been working on the idea for do-it-yourself desalination of seawater. I've been for work on an energy project also to the island of Mauritius. It was in 2010. There I saw also big installations of reverse osmosis with seawater. Because, you know, it's an island and the most nearby island of Madagascar is 800 kilometers from there. The unique character of this solution, which I am thinking to realize, it uses Peltier cooling technology. Normally, this tech isn't very efficient, but this disadvantage actually works for us. I'll soon share a video showing exactly how to build it, so you can start solving water scarcity in your own way and on your own pace. And with your own energy. The Guardian mentioned already how the population in the drought-struck areas harvests water from air conditioners. And indeed, I am doing the same thing to see how much water you can get with it. Between 5 and 10 liters per day for each air conditioner. You can calculate it with 10 to 20 drops per cubic centimeter and the frequency of the dripping. Well, you see in this moment it's pretty frequent for our air conditioner. Okay, this is not the same thing as seawater desalination, but it comes close. Distilled water is good for washing windows without traces, for certain household appliances, for example ironing, and also drinking water after some addition of minerals and also some other basic treatment, which we will see later. What does this mean for us? While governments tackle the bigger issues like this loss of water in the distribution network, there's a lot we can do in our house to save and produce water and energy. Simple things like installing water-efficient fixtures, collecting rainwater, and using grey water for irrigation can reduce our impact. And remember, saving water means saving also energy. Talking about producing water just from the air, and that with free solar energy, is cheaper than you think, with the principle of the perfect prosumer. Prosumer means producer and consumer at the same time. So that means you produce energy and water at the moment nature gives it to you, without even needing any battery. No, your storage media is a big bottle of clear water. And so you see, storage is another way to underline how water and energy are related. Because instead of having to store energy, you just make water from it and then you store that water. Do you want more of this? If you are fascinated by the air conditioner, as many people in south of Sicily seem to be, and please consider their situation. It could come into your mind to humidify the air in your house with seawater and then condense it with the air conditioner. Huh? If you are at the beach and use seawater to humidify your house, then this extension of a real practice, because the people in southern Italy are already harvesting the water of their air conditioners, then this extension brings you very close to water desalination of the sea. But instead of feeding your $70 evaporative cooler with seawater and make it worthless after a while, you might take a cheap small pump and trickle it in a sheet of textile in front of a fan. If you want to make it a work of art, you can make a curtain of seaweed or a fountain in-house. Is that energy efficient? Maybe not. The air conditioner must work harder, but at least the evaporation gives you pre-cooling in-house, and the air conditioning will do the rest and dry the air and give you much more water than normal. And the water and the seawater is free at the beach. If you have also solar electricity and like us must give the access for nearly free to the grid, you can create a perfect prosumer. See this video here. The same you can do with a dehumidifier, if you, for example, can't have an air conditioner. So now about drinking water. To use this water from the air conditioning for drinking, you need at least a SODIS. And a SODIS is solar disinfection in, for example, PET bottles, where the water is clear, so that the sun can go through the plastic into the water for at least 6 hours in the strong sun. Please inform yourself about making good and safe drinking water. That is a science in itself, and too much for this video. If you like me to make a video about this and with the real experiments with the seawater, then please write it in the comments. As mentioned above, I also intend to make a Peltier desalinator that works with solar energy. It will be really affordable and modular, because each Peltier heat pump costs only a few euros. And you can decide how large to make it. Also, this is a perfect prosumer, so producer and consumer. And I will try to make it even without any battery, just with a low-cost PV panel. Subscribe for the channel and ask for automatic notification to stay informed. And if you are looking for a community with DIY in the area of energy and you like innovation, then join the Energy Innovation Home Do-It-Yourself Facebook group. Let's work on solutions for a more resilient future. And before you go, don't forget to download my free guide, Heatwave Home Defense, 15 do-it-yourself cooling tricks. You can get it through the link in the description below.